And yet the word church isn't in the original Bible when we talk about the Hebrew Old Testament and the Greek New Testament. And when Jesus said in Matthew 16:18, upon this rock I will build my ecclesia, he wasn't talking about even a religious service or a religious gathering of any kind. He was declaring that he was establishing his government. And in order to understand that, we have to look at the word ecclesia. Most studied Christians are aware that the word ecclesia literally means those who are called out. Like it literally, it's a compound word that means um, to be called out to something or from something. And the question we have to ask is, what did that word mean in the culture in which it was being spoken and chosen by Jesus 2,000 years ago? And what did it, what does it mean for us today, right? So going back before Jesus was born, that article you sent me was so fascinating. I hadn't seen that one about the use of the ecclesia in the Greek Old Testament, the lexicon, and how when the Old Testament was translated, they went back to verses like Deuteronomy 4:4 and took out the word assemble and used the Greek word ecclesia. But even prior to that, in the Greek Empire, going back, 300 years or so, the ecclesia was the men who sat at the city gate. They were the judges of the city. They were a democratic group. It means like they voted on things together, and they were the local representatives of the Greek Empire. So whenever anybody went, let's say, into the city of Athens or out of the city of Athens, they would go through these huge city gates, and the ecclesia had the authority to open and close the gates to say, no, people can't leave because, they're flight risk, they have an upcoming court date or something, or they haven't paid their taxes, or no, people can't come in because they look nefarious. Maybe they have some sort of a criminal record. Maybe, you know, for whatever reason, they could they could forbid people from entry. They were the local body that enforced the rules and the laws of the empire. So when the legislature would gather and they would enact a new rule, a new law, it would go out to the ecclesia in each individual city state, and it was the ecclesia's job to enforce that, to implement it on the local level. And that's why when Jesus said, I am establishing my ecclesia, he immediately goes in the very next verse, same paragraph, and starts talking about binding and loosing, which was all about authority. And those were actual legal terms during that time. Binding is like putting on handcuffs or confining, arresting, if you will. And loosing is like permitting, like I'm giving you a business license. I'm loosing you to go and do this. I'm giving you a license to go and do whatever this activity is. So Jesus was establishing his ecclesia. Now, people might say, well, why is it that he would use a Greek word? Was he really speaking Greek?